afternoon, everybody. Calm Biker here. Heading out for a nice afternoon, hopefully. Weather is looking a bit forbidding. That sky does look rather dark. But I've got my black visor in, so there's always a possibility it's just that. Yeah, touch and go, isn't it? Somewhere behind me, so I was a bit sneaky around that roundabout, is Graham, Adventures with Woody. And we're just off for a little, I think he calls it a bimble, down to Cadwell Park. Do a few laps, you know, of the coffee shop. I do want to do a track day, but not until my shoulder has healed. I think doing a track day with a broken collarbone is probably a bad plan. But I thought I would record a quick video. I wanted to do a response to a video that I saw. It's not really a response, but it's kind of triggered by a video that I saw the other night. And it's a video by a chap I subscribe to called the Mighty Beanstick, or Mighty Beanstick. I don't think there's a "the" on it. If you've met me, you know how good I am with names. So Mighty Beanstick or the Mighty Beanstick. I shall stick a link in corner at video and probably in the comments below or the notes below, so you can get a link to his channel, because I think he deserves more subscribers than he's got. But he was talking about how on the news recently they've been talking about the laws around mobile phone use in cars, and I mean, I suppose it counts for bikes as well. I have seen people riding motorbikes and scooters and whatnot whilst texting, so it kind of applies. Now, he was concerned that it could spell the end of motovlogging. I think that was pretty much the title of his video. I'm not so sure, I don't think it will. But just to explain, as is the case in many countries nowadays, using a mobile phone or a mobile device, handheld mobile device, is illegal. And it carries with it, originally I think it was 3 points and a fine, and now I think it's more points and a bigger fine. And they're talking about making it even more points potentially and a bigger fine, but you know, a bigger penalty. And I think they've missed the point, because 6 points and a big fine is a serious penalty. That's halfway towards losing your license. And people are not stopping doing it. They're still, you see them every day, don't you? See them every day on the phone. I'm going to slow down for Graham. He's stuck behind a van, because it's not the normal way I'm going, it's the fun way. I'll make sure he knows which way I've gone. Yeah, that's a big enough penalty. People don't care. People carry on doing it every day. Carry on using the phones and the mobile devices and all this kind of stuff without a care in the world. Not because they don't care about the penalty, I assume. Oh, have I lost him? But I assume because they know they're not going to get caught. Hey, there he is. Because we don't have any police. It's incredibly rare to see a policeman around here. Walking around, driving around on a bike or anything like that, it's just incredibly rare to see it. What we need for these kind of crimes, or I shouldn't say crimes, I think driving penalties, like cutting corners in your van, is police around. I saw a video of an Australian policeman, I think it was, who was riding a motorbike between cars and spotting the ones on the phone and giving them a penalty there and then. And we need that, because right now nobody is getting seen doing this. Anyway, that aside, they're talking about making the penalties harsher, which I kind of agree with. I think it's a stupid thing to do. They show that it's as bad as drink driving for your concentration and your ability in the car, so I think it should carry the same penalties as drink driving. If you started banning people straight away for it, I think that would be reasonable. And they're also talking about changing the law, because at the minute, as I said, it's for handheld devices, and they're talking now about making it illegal to use them hands-free as well. So you wouldn't be able to make a call hands-free with either I guess with a speaker, with a Bluetooth kit, with a kit in your car or a kit in your ear, whatever it might be. Talking about making all of that be banned too. And that was the bit that Mighty Beanstick was worried about, because he's got a Bluetooth gizmo linking his microphone to his recording device for his vlogging. Hello! Cut out the sitting at the lights there because it was a long one. I always seem to catch that one just as it goes red, and then it's a while as it lets everyone go past. Now, I think it's reasonable that you shouldn't be using a hands-free kit for making phone calls, because it's, again, scientifically shown that it affects your concentration. And it doesn't affect your concentration much less, if any less, than holding the thing in your hand and doing it. I suppose it affects the control of the vehicle less, because you can still have two hands on the wheel, but it doesn't actually change what you're doing in terms of your mental capacity. So I can see the point, and I kind of agree with it. And I kind of see where Mighty Beanstick was going in saying that, you know, this could affect us motovlogging. I mean, if they ban Bluetooth, maybe that would affect him by accident. My microphone's wired to my camera, so I'd still be okay, I guess. But we have to be honest and say that this is taking an amount of concentration. So while I'm talking to you now, you know, some of my concentration is taken away from what's on the road. But as, I mean, this thing's come up many times in the past, and as we've said before, many of us in the motovlogging world, you will find us slowing down our talking or stopping altogether, because we'll concentrate first on the road and second on the talking. And you'll also find us, if you meet us in real life, you'll probably find us riding much slower on video than we do in real life, because you're freeing up that bit of concentration to ride a bit quicker, and because the wind noise gets worse at higher speeds and you can't hear what we're saying. So if it was fallout that it affected what we were doing, I could kind of understand that, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will cover what we're doing, to be honest, because if it covers what we're doing, and I think this takes much less concentration than talking to somebody on the phone. But if it covers what we're doing, it's going to have to cover many other things too. For example, talking to a passenger in your car. Because, and again, in theory, it takes less concentration to talk to a passenger because they're there. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I've heard it said. But it's less likely, apparently, to impact your driving with a passenger, because if something happens that suddenly requires all of your attention, it's said that the person who's with you is more likely to notice that that thing is happening and stop the conversation, whereas somebody on the other end of a phone is not with you, can't see what's happening around the car, and therefore isn't likely to shut up and is still taking too much of your concentration away. Now that's all well and good, but it does make the assumption that the person that you're transporting is aware of the road. And I think that's quite a big assumption. So if they are going to ban this kind of talking on a hands-free phone, I think there is definitely an argument for also banning talking to your passenger, which some people, in some situations, may see as a very good thing. But in general, it will make your car journeys much more boring. I pulled into the side there to let Graham catch up because he got stuck at the junction. I didn't realise that wasn't Graham, I just saw a bike in my mirror. So it feels to me like they would have to ban quite a lot of things that I can't imagine they would ban. And that aside, you've then got to say, is there any opportunity at all for them to police this? Because if they can't police somebody tapping away on a phone, how could they possibly police somebody talking hands-free? Unless they actually have banned all of that. Because you don't know if they're talking on a phone or talking to the passenger. If they're not allowed to talk to the passenger, you don't know if they're talking on the phone or talking to the passenger or just talking to themselves. And if you're going to ban talking to yourself, well, that's a very, very strange idea indeed. So I suspect, in reality, there is very little that they can do with such a ban. And I suspect it's mainly because they want to be seen to be doing something about a problem that really is a real problem, but actually that is unsolvable. Let me know what you think in them there comments. I'm gonna play catch up now. Let me know what you think of them there comments anyway. Thank you for watching. Ride safe. Check out Mighty Beanstick. And I shall talk to you all again soon. Ta-da!